Welcome everyone to German Tool Reviews. Today we have the Wera 7003C 1/2 inch drive torque wrench. This wrench is actually made by Norbar out of Banbury, England in the UK. This is not just a sticker rebrand. This model was made specifically for Wera and has a couple of distinguishing cosmetic features, such as the handle color and the laser etched Wera name and logo on the shaft. First, let's take a look at the listing in Wera's catalog to get the basic specs. This particular model has a torque range of 40 to 200 Newton meters, or roughly 30 to 150 foot-pounds. It has a sliding dual scale with graduations of 2 Newton meters and 2 foot-pounds. Using some research, it looks like this is a version of Norbar's 200 series automotive professional torque wrenches. Specifically, I was able to narrow it down to part number 10314. The automotive series torque wrenches they offer are built with a handle and lens material that resist all chemicals common in the automotive and aviation industry. The Norbar catalog also indicates it is a 72 tooth ratchet and weighs 1 kilogram, which is quite light for a 1/2 inch drive torque wrench of this size. The torque wrench comes in one of those 2-part tubes that you commonly see used for things like end mills and very large drill bits. I probably would have preferred a dedicated case, but this will suffice because the case is reusable unlike some other type of packaging out there. I think the case was a sacrifice they made to keep the cost down. The unit comes with a calibration certificate where they test the unit at the minimum, midpoint, and maximum torque ratings. In this particular case, the calibration was within 1%, even though the torque wrench is rated at 4% accuracy. So it looks like I lucked out and got a unit that is performing well above the spec. This is a reversible torque wrench, but I believe it is only calibrated in the tightening direction, which is indicated by the large arrow on the shaft of the unit. The direction switching mechanism is unique that it slides across the top of the head. I don't recall ever seeing a ratchet with this style mechanism, as they're all usually a small lever or a wheel that you turn. Moving the slide reveals an arrow that indicates the direction that the ratchet will turn for that position. To adjust the set torque, the knob at the end of the wrench is turned a quarter turn in the counterclockwise direction to the unlock position. This allows the handle itself to rotate, which will rotate the sliding scale. The desired torque is then lined up with the red line on the window. Once set, the knob at the end is turned back a quarter turn in the clockwise position to lock the position. I did notice there seems to be a little bit of backlash on the torque set mechanism, somewhere on the order of 1 graduation or around 2 Newton meters. I don't think it's really a huge deal, but it would have felt better if I couldn't have moved the sliding scale after it had been locked. Norbar just recently upgraded this particular model with a different adjustment mechanism, so I'm not sure if they changed it for this reason or not. This is a click style torque wrench that will cause a spring-loaded mechanism to displace when a set torque is reached. This type of torque wrench also requires a single hand to be on the handle. There are types of torque wrenches out there that are position independent, but this particular style is not one of them. Once you reach the set torque position, the mechanism will displace and cause an audible click sound to indicate the desired torque has been reached. I used this torque wrench recently when doing some additional hex key testing and it worked extremely well. I was very surprised at how subtle the click mechanism was. We'll take a look at some exploded diagrams later to try and determine why that is. I'm used to those type of torque wrenches that will actually displace quite a significant amount just under the head. However, this one only has a very small displacement, if there is any at all, which I like. The click is also not extremely loud, but luckily you can still feel the vibration to the handle. Of course, with any torque wrench, after you're done using it, you should always set it back to the minimum value, which is usually about 20% of the maximum. There was one unusual marking on this torque wrench that had me doing a double take. If you look closely on the handles, there is clearly a Celtic cross, which really caught me by surprise. I'm sure most people wouldn't think much of this, as it is an ancient Christian symbol, but a lot of other people know that this particular symbol is now synonymous with white supremacy groups across the world. It is classified as a hate symbol by the Anti-Defamation League, and who notes it is one of the most commonly used white supremacist symbols. However, the ADL also notes that due to the commonality of this particular symbol, in the absence of any context, it is not necessarily a hate symbol. Given recent events, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up removing this or replacing it with some other symbol. Back to the tool. I don't think I'm going to tear into this to examine the inner components because it would surely mess up the calibration. Fortunately, Norbar provides an exploded diagram of this tool that should give us some additional insight into the construction. First thing you'll notice is how many line items this assembly has. I had no idea that a torque wrench could be this complex. I have taken apart torque wrenches before, such as the Ghidorah drumometer, and they were not nearly as intricate as this model. Here's my interpretation of the exploded diagrams on how this actually works. When you turn the knob at the end of the wrench into the lock position, a spring pushes on a notched collar that engages with a stationary component of the handle. When the knob is turned to the unlock position, it pushes on the drive sleeve tabs, which causes the spring to compress. This in turn pushes the notched collar into the stationary gear, which engages with the internally gear printed scale. Norbar's original patent shows this mechanism in a little better fashion than the exploded drawing does. The thing that makes this torque wrench unique is that turning the handle to adjust the wrench does not actually move the grip up the shaft like it does on many other models. I'm not sure if Norbar is the only one who makes a torque wrench with this feature, but I haven't seen one before. The mechanism that produces the clicks is quite a bit further into the torque wrench. This is why there is very little displacement when the set torque amount is reached and allows the click sound to be muffled. I'm not sure of all the materials used, but it appears a lot of the geared parts are made out of a glass-infused nylon. This really shouldn't be a problem since the only time the gears are in use is when you're adjusting the set torque value. If you follow tool industry news, you'll know that Norbar was recently acquired by Snap-on for $72 million a couple of months ago. Considering that Wera is a competitor to Snap-on, the future of the Wera-branded Norbar torque wrench is not really known at this time. Recent interviews with Norbar representatives have indicated that the acquisition does not change anything and it is business as usual. Snap-on also owns several other companies that are focused on the torque market, so I'm not exactly sure of their intentions with this purchase. We'll just have to wait and see. To conclude, the 7003 is a great mid-level torque wrench that gets the job done without breaking the bank. The things I like most about it are the low impact click mechanism, the very easy to read dual scale and comfortable handle. The only real negatives I could find is the little bit of backlash on the adjustment mechanism and the fact that it doesn't come with a better dedicated case. These are minor issues that I can live with. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that look at the Wera-branded Norbar torque wrench. Check out the link in the description to the full review. The KC Tool and Amazon affiliate links to this product are also in the description if you feel the urge to pick one up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.